I'd see him sitting on that couch all day long, just staring at that Hollywood hogwash.
Our favorite show was Hollywood Hogwash.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hollywood Hogwash. I'm Andrew Pisano along with Josh Reese and Aaron Rosa. Yes, this podcast still exists.
Yeah.
We took like a 4 or 5 week break. You know, the holidays get a little busy. The podcast schedule gets on us sometimes, but we are back and stronger than ever.
Not quite back at full strength because Joe's still on Christmas vacation.
He's on assignment. He's on assignment somewhere.
Yeah. But
checking out new movies, I'm sure.
first podcast of the new year.
And a first movie for me. I've never seen this movie, and it was, I'll admit, I was quite shocked with how good it was.
I couldn't believe that you haven't seen this yet.
Oh,
Like, this is an all-time
It's
great
funny
movie.
when you think of X-Men First Class. Before this came, you know, there was the first X-Men movie, which even at the time, I mean, people were excited, but let's be honest, the first X-Men movie was not good.
No.
X2 was a lot better because it had Nightcrawler and you actually had Wolverine like stabbing people this time.
Right.
Amazing.
First movie, he
Of course.
killed no one. Second movie's killing everyone, so he was great.
They were testing things out in the first
And that
movie.
was a really good sequel, really good movie. Then they made X-Men 3, and that was just dog shit.
They
United,
went off the
right?
rails.
X-Men United.
X-Men Last
System,
Stand. Oh, X2 was X2 Unite, right? Or was it just X2?
Oh, no, you might be right.
X-Men 3 was
That's
last,
right. That's
the last
right.
stand.
3 was
The
Last
Last
Stand.
Stand.
Yes, that's right.
A little
And it
bit
was
off the rails
terrible.
there with
Then
Dr.
they made
Jean Grey.
even worse. They made X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I
An
have
even
not
worse
seen that
movie. You know, Deadpool has made so many jokes about it because that was the first time Deadpool was in a movie, and it was so bad.
I'm
That's
sure it
one of
might come
those-
up in Deadpool and
So when I saw this movie, like I wasn't expecting much because I was like, you know, there's been 4 X-Men movies up until this point, and only one of them was any good. You know,
What's really-
the other 3 were terrible.
What's kind of wild is, like, so we had the 2 Keaton Batman movies.
Yeah.
And then we had 3, and it was like, okay. And then there was 4, and it's like, oh no. And Batman just went away for a decade, 15 years.
Right.
After X-Men 3 and then the Wolverine Origins,
Yeah.
that could have been like, oh no. Like, we're not
Sure.
going to see any X-Men for 10, 15 years at least.
Yeah. It's funny, even though those movies sucked, they still did very well in theaters. But then X-Men First Class came out and there was like almost no expectations, but it's like, all right, it's a soft reboot. We're doing prequel. Really, it's a prequel.
yeah. 'Cause it's the
And
70s or whatever.
man, this movie fucking kicked ass.
Holy shit.
I'll be honest, to Aaron's point, after X-Men 3, I was like, okay, I think I'm done with X-Men for a while.
Yeah.
And like I totally checked out. Like I haven't watched any other X-Men for a while. X-Men Days of Future Past.
Right.
I've seen a couple different times.
Which is hilarious because that's the sequel to this movie.
And I never
Right.
even realized that.
Yeah. But it's funny, like how often does it come around? This might be the first time ever where there's a trilogy of movies. And then the second trilogy is better than the original.
And-
when does
and-
that ever happen?
And
Yeah.
not only that, but so much better.
Superior.
Like
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 of this trilogy. X2 is a great movie, but all 3 of these were just phenomenal.
Yeah. Some people,
Yeah.
I'd say some, I think a lot of people didn't really like Apocalypse. I still really love Apocalypse. It may be the worst of the 3, but I still think it's really good.
X-Men Apocalypse is kind of like Return of the Jedi, where maybe overall as a movie it's not great, but the payoff of seeing the full Magneto face turn is such a great payoff.
Right. And then
long-term storytelling.
then they just made one too many movies because then they tried to do Dark Phoenix. They're
Yeah.
like, hey, we're going to do the Phoenix Saga. We're going to do it right this time. And it's
No.
like, you fucked it up just as bad as they did the
No.
first time. That movie is so bad.
They fucked up the Phoenix thing twice.
Well,
Twice.
Logan also counts as part of the X-Men universe. Logan was really
Yeah,
good.
but it doesn't have to do with this.
That's
with
true.
these,
Okay.
movies.
Right.
It was a trilogy. Then they made Dark Phoenix, and it was just
Hey, well, they might get it right eventually. There's been rumors of the X-Men coming back, and
It's not even a rumor anymore.
right, it's
Yeah, the Marvels.
that's right.
15 years from now, someone's going to come up with the script treatment for a Phoenix story, and everybody's going
Right.
to say, no,
So
stay away.
I did say that this movie kicked ass. And speaking of kick ass, the director of this movie is Matthew Vaughn. He directed the first Kick Ass.
Very nice.
And
Very
he
nice.
directed the Kingsman movies,
Very nice.
which 2 out of 3 of those were awesome.
Not the King's Man.
Yeah, not the King's Man.
Okay.
He did.
checking.
He did direct that one as well. But,
Oh, no.
But that one's not good. No.
Yeah, I was just swinging a miss for
But
sure.
I do like this director. He's made some really good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knows how to do action well.
And it's not just action. This movie, there is so much heartbreak in this movie.
Yeah.
And
It's-
there's character, like, again, what I love most, characters, and there's character development.
Yeah.
And they take the time to develop all of the characters.
We'll
so
get
that you
to
give
it.
a shit.
But there was a scene in the movie where the character had only been with us for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then that character had a spoiler alert, and I was like, holy shit!
The
Wow.
character, spoiler alerts.
I was like, holy
characters-
shit! I actually cared about that.
Spoiler alert scene. And like I said,
Wow.
heartbreak. So much heartbreak in this
Yeah.
movie.
But also so many gratifying moments as well. Like it's just such a great story from start to finish.
For sure.
Like just the origin of Magneto is one of the best origins ever. Like I remember when I watched this movie and I was like, oh, this is how they should have done Darth Vader's origin. Like this would have been perfect for him.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
was
Instead of I had a bad dream.
Hold me,
I
Padme.
was going to get into this later, but Fassbender's Magneto in this movie. So it's kind of understood with most people that no one's ever going to top Heath Ledger's Joker.
Right.
Like that's just as good as it's ever going to get.
Sure.
No one's ever going to top Fassbender's Magneto
Yeah.
in this trilogy.
Oh,
He's
agreed.
so
I mean,
perfect.
Right. It's like no one's going to do a better Wolverine, most likely, and no one's going to do a
Right.
better Magneto.
And
I mean,
right.
Fassbender, like, I remember first saw him in Inglourious Bastards. Well, it's not true.
was he in there?
Really, we first saw, of course, he's one of the main fucking
Oh,
characters.
shit.
Really, we first saw him in 300, but he was a nameless person then.
Right, yeah.
He was,
Yep.
we will hide in the shade or fight in the shade.
Right.
Like he was that jacked guy. One of the soldiers. No, yeah, he's in Inglourious Bastards. He has one of the main roles.
I didn't realize. No, I don't know if you're going to bring it
And
up.
then he does this, and it's just like, holy shit, this Fassbender is awesome.
I didn't know if you were going to bring it up when we talk about the movie specifically, but
Yeah.
I mean, you brought it up during the movie. I mean, they've been talking about finding a James Bond forever. I mean, he felt like a James Bond in this movie for half of it.
Right, and we'll talk about it later, but ever since I saw this movie, I said this guy should play James Bond. And
Yeah, and
it's
he's
funny
been
because
rumored, right?
he's been rumored now since they're looking for a replacement.
Yeah.
And I hope it's him because, like, have you even seen him in a movie in the past, 5 years?
I haven't seen
He's
much
in
of him.
nothing. Like, he's
No.
all in, yes, he's been in some movies, but
Some
it's not
weird
movies
ones.
I'm interested in.
Right.
Like, he needs to be in bigger movies.
Yeah.
Like, he's that good.
Yeah, I could totally see him as a secret agent spy.
For sure.
He needs to be in a Christopher Nolan movie or
Oh
something.
my God. Don't get me started.
Oh, bust a nut, huh?
About to push these buttons way too early. So all right. It's been a month, maybe a little longer, so we have a lot to talk about this week. We
do.
Might be a long podcast. But first we have to thank 6 brand spanking new patrons.
Holy shit.
Who signed up. So
Thank you.
without further ado, thank you to KJ, our good friend KJ. Huge ass.
Yes.
Yeah. It's an old
Love it.
Simpsons joke.
Love it.
ManBat94, Quentin Adams, Matthew Carlini, and Kyle Mulkenthan.
Mulkenthan, he joined, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Way to go, Mulkenthan.
Is that your buddy? Or?
I don't know. That's a good one. He is now. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. So thank you to those 6 who signed up at Hollywood, patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. We are currently going through the Echo series on Disney Plus. We're 1 episode in, and so far,
So much
Promising.
hope.
so good.
So much hope.
Yeah, it's if you loved the Netflix MCU shows, specifically Daredevil and Punisher.
Yeah, I was going to say Daredevil because they weren't all.
Yeah, they weren't all
amazing.
great.
They weren't all great, but Daredevil was amazing.
It feels like you're watching
yes.
a Daredevil or Punisher like show.
I didn't mind
feel.
Luke Cage.
Huh?
I didn't mind Luke Cage.
Luke Cage was fine.
Just definitely not Iron Hands.
but
Iron Hands.
Iron something. Iron Heart.
Iron
You do
Fist.
a Hollywood
Iron
podcast,
Fist.
Josh.
It was Iron. Listen, it's 2 a.m. in Texas.
No, that's
it's
not right
It's
either.
2 a.m. somewhere.
No.
That's right.
No, Iron Fist was definitely the worst of all of them.
Sure.
Yeah. Luke Cage was good until they killed off Mahershala Ali. He was the best fucking villain.
True.
Halfway through the first season, and they didn't give him a villain. He was
then
never
it was the lady.
threatened. He's
Yeah.
just he's invincible, and there's
Right.
no super people to fight him. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Go to patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash to sign up. Watch Echo with us. We also reviewed Loki. We've also done a bracket, best TV intro brackets, and there's more brackets to come. So go sign up. We have a lot of shows. Last of Us is on there.
Us was good.
Invincible, which we're going to do that when it comes back, whenever that is. Yeah, there's a lot more. Patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. Now, before we get to the news and rumors, speaking of brackets, because we haven't done a bracket on this show in a while, I thought we'd do a little quick one. This will only take a few minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Love it.
But one of our fans, Steven the Don Valente,
Yes.
made a bracket. He goes, hey, I made this real quick. Like, what's the best Will Ferrell movie of all time?
Oh, I love this.
And it's 16 movies. And I just had to swap out a couple because there was a couple I felt like that didn't really deserve to be on there.
Oh, wow.
But let's go through this real quick. If
A
you don't
live
mind,
bracket.
like write down the answers each time. Like make your own bracket if you can. Because I can't edit this file that I'm looking at.
All right.
All right.
We'll use
so,
yours. We'll use yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't use my spelling, Jesus Christ.
It's fine. Just write it. It's
we'll
not a
do
big
that.
deal.
Okay.
Just write it down. Josh is going to write?
I know, that's
boy.
what I was
Oh,
saying.
you let go of that pen. I don't know why. All right, we'll trust Josh on this. All right, first up, this is the number one seed, and it's the number one seed for a reason. We have Step Brothers going up against, and look, I honestly don't really know why this is on here, but Sherlock Holmes. I watched 5 minutes of that movie, and I wanted to kill myself.
I've never seen the movie, to be honest.
I haven't
It's
seen
Will Ferrell
it.
and John C. Reilly, and I like that you put this next to Step Brothers because it's the
it's obviously
out.
them
Step Brothers,
again,
yeah.
but like
Quick out.
it's the exact opposite of
Well-
Step Brothers. It's the opposite of funny.
I mean, there's so many movies that are Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly too.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's Step Brothers.
Step Brothers.
That one's easy.
Goes through, of course.
Yeah.
No arguments from anyone. Next up, we have this is one I put in here because Land of the Lost was on there, so I got rid of. No, don't write that.
Oh, okay.
That's what he had, but did any of you see Land of the
I
Lost?
Didn't see it.
No.
Don't even know what that
So I
was.
replaced it with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Will Ferrell is not the star, but he's the star of that movie. Like, he's the best parts of that movie.
I didn't see the movie.
He's the best character. Like, him as the wildlife marshal.
I mean,
I fucking
he is-
love him in that movie.
Sounds
He
like a
is
funny
kind
character.
of barely in it.
He's not barely in it. He's
But-
in a lot of it. He's the funniest scenes in that movie.
No, I'm not arguing that. He's not in it a ton.
I'm going to
but-
defer to you.
But okay, fair enough.
What's it
It's going up against Semi-Pro.
Oh, that's not even.
Semi-Pro was really funny.
Jane's. Fuck you, Josh.
Yeah, I
Well,
didn't really
Jay and
like
Silent
Semi-Pro.
Bob.
Okay.
Semi-Pro. was
Jay and
not-
Silent Bob.
I lost
Yeah,
that one.
Jay and Silent
All
Bob.
right, so-
All right, next up. This is going to get interesting. We have the other guys.
Oh, that's so good.
Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg going up against Talladega Nights.
Oh, that's a finals right there.
You still haven't seen it, have you?
Talladega.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Wait,
This
what?
is just insanity. Like,
Okay.
we have to do it.
I know what we're
We
doing
have to
next
do it on the
week.
podcast
Jesus
like
Christ.
soon enough.
It's
Maybe when we're done with the X-Men.
God damn it.
But it's Talladega Nights.
Everybody's
I
got their
think it
list of
is.
movies that they really should have seen and they just haven't.
Yeah.
That's one of mine.
It really is.
But this is, I mean, like this is a championship matchup right here. I mean, like either one
like
of these could be in the finals.
the best Will Ferrell movies are the ones that he co-wrote with Adam McKay, and that's one of them.
Since I didn't see it, I'll be a tie break if you guys don't agree on.
I'll
think
go.
we agreed on
Talladega.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega.
But I mean, Other Guys is so good. But I mean, Talladega Nights is really good.
Next up, we have Night at the Roxbury. That was the SNL skit that they made into a movie.
See that one.
Going up against Elf.
I'm gonna go Elf.
I mean, it's Elf.
It's Elf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty,
I don't know if you're gonna have room, but it's okay.
that's okay. We'll keep going.
You don't have to. You can just write the winners if you
Oh,
want.
Lord
Doesn't
Jesus,
really
too
matter.
late.
Next up, we have Zoolander. Going up again. He's not the main, but he's the best part of that movie.
Yes.
Like he is. He's the villain. He's the best part of that movie. Zoolander going up against Daddy's Home. I think again, it's
Zoolander.
That's a no-brainer.
It
It's
is Zoolander.
Zoolander's better.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do now? Where are you gonna write? Okay. Next up, we have the campaign.
The campaign.
That politician movie he made with Zach Galifianakis. It was okay. Going up against Old School.
Old School.
And again, old school Will Ferrell is the best part
Yeah.
of that movie.
It's Old School.
Old School goes through. Then we have Blades of Glory, the ice skating movie,
good one.
which is underrated.
It's fun.
And it's been a while since I've seen it. I'd kind of like to see it again.
Yeah. Need to rewatch.
That's going up against the Lego movie. And again, I think...
I haven't seen the Lego.
But like
movie.
Will Ferrell is the human. Like he's not one of the Lego. Like you know what I mean. Like
I'm gonna go Blades of
Will
Glory.
Ferrell's just the dad in the Lego movie.
Well,
Blades
he's
of
also
Glory.
the villain,
That's true.
but
I would go Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory.
yeah, I agree.
Okay. And then the last matchup in round one, we have Get Hard
That's good.
going up against Anchorman.
Okay.
Shut
yeah.
Anchorman, come on.
Anchorman.
Yeah. So all right, round two. I guess we have Step Brothers going up against Jay and Silent Bob.
Step Brothers
Yeah,
going
Step
through
Brothers.
for sure.
Step Brothers.
Step Bros.
Then we have Talladega Nights going up against Elf.
Ooh, that's a tougher matchup.
I
Than
mean, obviously,
than it is,
Aaron's gonna say Elf because he hasn't seen it. So,
But I mean,
Well, I also really enjoy Elf.
Talladega
Yeah, sure.
Nights is there's just too many great scenes, great moments. I don't want to ruin it for Aaron, but so much. It's Talladega Nights.
I agree. Talladega Nights. Yeah. I hope we're not overhyping it and then Aaron doesn't like it.
You probably shouldn't, because that's
Look,
very funny.
It's not Anchorman or Step Brothers, but it's really good.
movies
Plus-
that get overhyped that ruins it. By the time
It's
you
got
see
the guy that my wife. It's got that guy in there. He's hilarious.
Okay.
That's true. He's like the villain. Borat's the villain of that movie. Next up, we have Zoo. This is a tough one. Zoolander versus Old School.
Ooh, that is tougher than you think. But I think you got to go Zoolander,
That's really
right?
tough, man.
He's not in it as much as he is in Old School.
Well,
but
I would
he-
say it's about the same. He's not the main character in Old School. But it really is just what's the better movie?
is it Dr. Magatu or is it just Magatu?
Magatu.
I mean, he's such a much more memorable
so
character.
I think I'd go Zoolander.
Zoolander.
so, too.
Just it's true. Like you think about him as Mugatu, he's so fucking funny.
Very funny.
Don't see the sequel. And then we have Blades of Glory up against Anchorman.
And Anchorman.
It's obviously Anchorman. All right, round three. This is what to get in the finals.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We have Step Brothers going up against Talladega Nights.
Before we get to it, I just want to say I think this is the appropriate Final Four. I don't think there's anything on this list that probably is missing.
This
Maybe
was
Talladega
yeah.
Nights.
This was a
Yeah,
good
for
bracket because it organically kind of got down to the best four. Probably. It's Step Brothers.
I think I'm gonna go Talladega Nights.
Really?
Are you
I'm gonna go
fucking
Talladega
high?
Nights.
Well, you haven't seen it.
It's really
Well,
good.
right, but,
really
but I
good.
have seen Step Brothers.
Yeah.
It's like the best comedy in the history of movies.
It's a really good comedy, Aaron.
I'm gonna
Tiebreaker.
I'm gonna go Step Brothers.
I think you're doing that just because of Aaron.
No, it's
No,
not.
because it's Step Brothers.
Andrew, how wrong am I? Am I crazy for picking Talladega Nights?
No.
Yeah,
That's what I'm telling
exactly.
Aaron. He's not crazy for. I wouldn't argue that with anyone.
It's really good.
You know, it's really good. And then we have what Zoolander versus Anchorman.
Of course, it's Anchorman.
It's gotta be Anchorman.
But damn, Zoolander is so good.
Yeah.
Sure. That's why we do the bracket, though.
Damn.
I mean, they were the number 1 and number 2 seeds for a reason.
Right.
And then finally, it's Step Brothers versus Anchorman.
I mean, I know what Andrew's voting.
I think it's Anchorman.
You do?
I think I'm going Anchorman.
I think I know what you're voting.
What are you voting?
And
Well, I said I think I know what you're
No,
voting.
I know. Okay.
And
So
here with the news, it's
I'm sorry.
Tits McGee.
you picked Anchorman.
I'm picking Anchorman.
Aaron?
This is really tough. Because this is just like
You want me to pick and then put you on the spot?
Rocky versus Rocky. Yeah, go ahead and pick.
This is Anchorman was my favorite for so long. Oh no. And then Step Brothers came out. Oh, no. And then even after that, I would say Anchorman. But then the more I watched both movies over and over, because I've seen Step Brothers and Anchorman like probably 20 times each, at least. So I think
Okay, hold on.
I know what I'm talking about.
Hold on. The best classic line in the movie, in either of these movies, is "Go fuck yourself, San Francisco." Come on,
It's great.
Come on,
Sure.
That's the high point. There's nothing in Step Brothers that beats that.
There's some great
So
moments.
hilarious. Jack Black, or he throws a taco at Jack Black on the freeway.
Yeah.
So, Josh, you went Anchorman?
I'm
went
going
Anchorman.
Step Brothers.
Oh, Aaron, tiebreaker.
It's just
Tie-break?
Will Ferrell
Okay.
and John C. Reilly, and they're both at their peak.
But you're getting so many people at their peak here. It's not just Will Ferrell.
Anchorman has the jokes where you watch it the first time and it just changes your life with how funny the movie is. But I think the jokes with Step Brothers, it ages so well. It's like Major League.
Here's the
Where
thing. You're
every
right.
time you watch it, you laugh.
And that's the thing is when I watch Anchorman now,
going
like I still laugh, but not as hard as I used to.
Right.
I still howl when I watch Step Brothers.
With
I can watch Step Brothers every day, and I'll laugh just as hard every time.
With Anchorman, it's like nostalgia laughs. Like, oh yeah, that was funny. But Step Brothers, I legit laugh every time I see it.
Agreed. Boats and Hose.
Boats and fucking hose. It's,
Boats and
it's
Hose.
Step Brothers.
We
Catalina.
reviewed this movie. It's on the pod.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's
Catalina
Step Brothers
wine
for me.
mixer. I mean, listen, if there's any movie that has changed culture, I mean, there is a Catalina wine mixer now.
There's a real one. That's
So
right.
I mean,
Fucking
that is
Catalina
true.
wine mixer.
But I mean, Anchorman's amazing. So
Well,
good.
Step Brother wins. Step Brothers wins.
I mean, a split decision. It's not a sweep.
No.
Split decision.
Split decision.
Dude, I love this impromptu, like,
Yeah.
just random bracket out of nowhere.
Right. It was a quick little brat. He sent it to me. I was like, well, it's not going to take long enough to make it like a bonus podcast on Patreon.
Right.
So it only took like about 5 minutes or so. It's something you can knock out.
That's great. We should do this more often.
I think the only thing I'm disappointed with is Talladega Nights not going farther. I think that's the only thing I'm disappointed in.
Well, you'll have to live with that, Josh, for the rest of your life.
I will.
I'm sorry.
Damn it.
All right. Now we can get to the news and rumors, a.k.a. the Hollywood hogwash. And there's a lot.
A lot.
There's a lot.
We
all got
all
stuff.
We all have stuff. So my first thing, Tom Cruise has signed a deal with Warner Brothers to produce and star in new, original, and franchise films. So that's a big deal. There are rumors that Warner Brothers is trying to get him to make a sequel of Edge of Tomorrow. That's been like rumored forever.
Forever.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think they're ever going to get that done.
Amazon
We'll
just
see.
needs
It's
to
just
back up a truck.
it's been almost like 10 years now at this point. And-
Yeah.
But maybe he likes to wait that long because Top Gun 2 took 30 years to make a sequel to,
And that was great.
and yeah, there's rumors. Well, not rumors really. There's reports that Top Gun 3 is currently in the works at Paramount.
Right.
Yeah, I had that too. The director is set to come back, but I'm worried because if they're doing that, like by definition, it's got to be about Goose's kid. Like Tom Cruise has got to step back, right?
Well, he's not going to step back. He's still
He's still going to
star
be the
of movie.
instructor.
What story can there be for him at this point?
Who knows?
This is what
Like
people.
this-
Okay, all right.
This
people,
was his going off into the sunset movie. Was Top Gun
Miles.
2?
No, Miles Teller was good, but no one's going to want to see Top Gun 3 unless it has Tom Cruise
I agree.
as the star. Aaron.
I agree. I agree. I'm just saying, what more story is there for him?
I'll
like
give
like
you
the
that,
story
Aaron.
there was.
You know, he's
was
already-
Top Gun 2.
Goose's
he's
kid
been the-
dies.
He's been the pilot. Then he raises another kid.
Not again.
Talk to me, Goose's kid.
Maybe Tom Cruise is abducted.
Talk to
and
me,
Goose has to
Goose,
find him.
and Goose's
in the air or
son.
something?
You're both. I failed you both. Oh
Yeah,
no.
Goose gets kidnapped. There you go.
Or Goose gets
And then it's like
kidnapped,
it's like Taken, but with jet planes.
Oh my god. Now I'm back in. Oh my
See?
god.
It's amazing. How
We
quickly
just
that
fixed
can
it
turn.
so fast.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome. Moving on, Robert Downey Jr. was recently on the Literally podcast and said he thinks his role as Tony Stark / Iron Man was some of the best work he's ever done.
I agree.
But it went a little bit unnoticed because of the genre.
That is the stupid, all due respect. I love you, Robert Downey Jr. That's the stupidest shit you've ever said. Because why do you think the MCU became a thing? Because of your acting. You being Iron Man was why this all was born.
Well, I
think
think
he means
not getting critically
because he didn't win
critical acclaim.
like an Oscar for
Fuck
it.
the Oscars. Those are always about Holocaust movies.
Yeah, well,
Well, I mean,
It's like the only way you
I
get
know
that
that's
is...
just what he's saying. Like
No, I know, but
case in point, didn't he get a lot of love for his portrayal on Oppenheimer?
well, yeah.
And I didn't think he did
That's-
anywhere near as well in Oppenheimer.
No,
than he
and
did
Well,
as
hold
Iron
on.
Man.
He was amazing in Oppenheimer.
he was,
was
amazing.
fine,
in
but I thought he
was
played Iron
amazing.
Man, especially in Endgame, way
But
better.
that's the whole thing: is you don't win Oscars unless you do a black and white period piece, and that's just
yeah, sure.
that's just what the world is.
It's true, yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, of course, superhero fans love it. It's one of the best performances anyone's ever given. Maybe the best performance of a superhero when you think about it. Just because he did like 10 movies and like he was always just
most
amazing. Even in the
consistent, for
bad movies, like he was good.
Yeah.
He was so good. I hate to admit this to myself, but if we did a bracket on best superhero performance ever, you know how much of a Keaton Batman homer I
Yeah.
am. I would probably take Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man over Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
Keaton did 2 movies. He did 10 and they were
Yeah.
all, you know what I mean?
Wait, so we're just not counting the Flash?
Oh boy.
Oh no.
No, we're not going to count the Flash. Yeah. Moving on, Margot Robbie says she's taking a break from acting because, and I quote, everyone is probably sick of the sight of me for now.
Okay,
Nope.
that is the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
No,
this
we're
is
not.
like, I'm trying to relate to people. Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
There is literally no one on earth that has said, I've seen too much of Margot Robbie.
You have never been more red hot in your life than coming off of $1 billion movie.
You know, it'd be
That's-
nice if Taylor Swift said this.
Right.
And then we could take a break
I'm
from
going
her.
to stop being on TV.
You know, the one good thing about the NFL ending soon for the season, because once it's over, there's a part
have
of you
to.
that's missing for 6 months.
It's like, oh, I have my life
essentially,
back.
right.
It's like there's a piece of your heart that's just empty for 6 months, and you have to fill it with shitty baseball. But anyways,
Hey, Astros are really good.
the one good thing is we won't have to see Taylor Swift for a while, maybe ever again, because will they still even be together?
Until she starts dating Bobby Witt of the Kansas City
Well,
Royals.
he's going to retire.
What?
Kelsey's going to retire
This year?
after this year.
I doubt it, but
He's toast.
we'll see. Also, you guys remember The Mandalorian? You know?
I've heard of The
favorite
Mandalorian.
show?
Grogu.
So,
I remember the first 2 seasons.
there's not going to be a season 4
nice.
because The Mandalorian and Grogu are headed to the big screen.
Oh, I think there's a button you might be able to hit. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Did we
Wrong.
not learn our lesson from season 3?
Jon Favreau's directing. The film will go into production later this year.
Why is he doing this?
I don't know.
Didn't he concede that he didn't want to do Grogu, but they forced it on him?
Yeah.
And now he's doing more Grogu?
I think what it was is like, hey, do we have a Star Wars movie coming out in the next year? Nope. Okay. Season 4. It's going to be a movie
once
now.
again, the problem with this show was that it was just too popular. We were talking about The Walking Dead earlier.
Yeah.
Like the show just got too popular, so they had to fucking, Disney this shit up, and that's what they did. Like it shouldn't have went past 2 seasons. The story was over.
Yeah. They told a perfect 2-season story, and they should have wrapped it up and gone in a different direction. but they just had to sell more Grogu shit.
Okay, so what's going to happen? They're going to do a movie, and the movie's going to go, okay, so now we're done with the movie. Go back to Disney Plus for season 5? Season 4?
I doubt it.
Or is the movie going to be the end?
movie... Look, this movie's probably going to do very well.
Probably.
There's probably going to be multiple movies. Oh, no. You know? If it does well, just like any movie, if a movie does well, you're getting a sequel.
If you would have told me after Mandalorian season 2 wrapped up that I would not be all that excited about a Mandalorian Grogu movie,
Yeah.
I would have punched you in the fucking mouth.
I know, right?
But
We'll see what they do with
Man.
it. Maybe it could be good.
I'm not excited, I'll tell you that.
Right. Disney also confirmed that season 2 of Ahsoka is currently in development. Another thing I'm not really excited
Okay,
for.
sure, whatever.
maybe they'll fix it.
Maybe, I don't know. That was...
I mean, we forget.
Who's excited to
We
see
forget-
Admiral
Talk
Akbar?
about lack of character development. There was none in that show.
We forget that the first few episodes, there was promise.
Yeah.
It looked promising the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then they just didn't develop anything.
You can't tell me anything about anyone's personality in that show of any character.
No.
Like, hey, what's Sabine like? Well, she's a woman. She's there.
She's got purple hair?
She has purple hair.
There you go.
Yeah.
Purple hair.
Also, Stephen Yeun confirmed that he has exited Thunderbolts, citing scheduling issues as the reason. And
This is bullshit.
and I mean that excuse is bullshit. Because you wouldn't exit an MCU film
No.
unless they just maybe they weren't pleased with his performance or it just wasn't working, or the writer or the character got written off the movie. It could,
Or maybe
you know,
he wasn't pleased with
but it's like,
what he was
yeah,
gonna be doing.
I just don't have time. I have to make this indie film for $10,000.
Maybe
Sorry.
his role wasn't big enough to his liking.
I'm so busy taping voiceovers for
I doubt it. Stephen Yeun's not that big. I mean, you take a role in the MCU even if it's super small. So something just didn't work. Either he wasn't working or just they decided to, you know, not have the
Interesting.
character in the movie. We'll see,
Interesting.
I guess.
We'll see what the update's going to be.
Variety reports that Caitlin Dever has been cast as Abby for season 2 of The Last of Us.
Fuck off, Caitlin.
Caitlin Dever?
We
You
don't
know who
need
she
you.
is.
We don't need you.
You know who she is, right?
No.
Who's that?
She was that teenager in Justified.
No.
Really?
Shit.
Yeah.
The mouthy little teenager?
The
Yeah.
mouthy little smart one.
She's great.
Oh, damn. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was good.
She's great.
Okay.
So she's playing Abby.
She's
Damn.
27 now?
We're gonna hate her.
We're going to hate.
Is Abby a bad character?
I'm
No,
not-
yeah.
I'm
I
not
was
sure what you
saying
know,
that.
Josh.
Yeah, Josh doesn't know.
No, I don't know.
We're going to hate her. A lot.
Also, speaking of The Last of Us, Nick Offerman won an Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series for The Last of Us.
Good for him.
Makes sense.
And Offerman also says a Bill and Frank spin-off series has been pitched.
Okay.
See,
But
everything,
again,
that
right,
needs a
everything,
series.
everything in a world is getting
Let's
a...
just focus on the original show.
Can't you just have one perfect episode
Not
that was
everything needs a universe. We don't
really well told?
need. We don't need the
Didn't they...
LSCU or.
But
I don't
didn't they
know.
already kind of tell their whole story in that
Pretty
one
much.
episode? What the hell else are they going to do?
Is that common to win an Emmy for a one episode appearance?
Yeah, it's a guest. It's a guest actor. They always have awards for guest
Oh, okay.
appearance.
You can
Yeah.
win an
Okay,
Emmy
okay.
for anything nowadays.
No, but that's always been like a one of the categories.
Okay.
Like guest, like where you just in 1 or 2 episodes
Sure.
of a show.
Ay, Dios mío.
Also, the Hollywood Reporter says a sequel to 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later is in development, and it'll be called, you guessed it, 28 Years Later.
And
is
Danny
this movie
Boyle's
about?
going to be back to direct it.
Who? What is this movie?
The guy who directed the first two.
Josh can't wait to see it, right, Josh? It's about zombies.
I've seen zombie
Oh,
movies.
that's right. You watched Last of Us.
Yeah.
and
Isn't
not
that scary?
And not just that, but they're the
confused.
running super scary zombies. So this is right up Josh's alley.
It's going to give Josh all the nightmares.
Yeah. Like zombies are like the edge of what I can handle.
Whenever we
Josh likes to edge while watching zombies. That's what we just learned.
if we ever get to a
muscle
point where we
memories.
need a break from Josh, we'll just do that one for the podcast.
Okay, that's
We'll
fair.
get a week off.
Fair enough.
All right, what do you guys have? That's all I. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Come
Not yet.
on.
It's not
Don't
your-
tell me
Wait,
you
wait.
missed
It's not your
the
turn
biggest news.
No, it's not your
out
turn
there.
yet. Okay, we'll do it in a second.
All right.
Also, Oppenheimer, as I predicted, dominated the Golden Globe.
Sure.
With 5 wins, including Best Motion Picture, Drama. Cillian Murphy won for Best Actor in a Drama. Robert Downey Jr., Best Supporting Actor in a Drama. Best Original Score. And Christopher Nolan, Best Director in a Drama.
As you predicted, like no one else saw this was.
No,
gonna
it was
sweep
only me.
Everything.
They will also dominate the Oscars in March because if you
Right.
want to win the Oscar, you got to make a movie about how fucked up America is.
And a black and white period piece.
Half the movie's black and white.
I was about to say.
I'm just glad that Nolan's finally getting the credit he deserves.
Yeah.
He should have 5 Oscars by now.
It's like
and he's
this-
finally going to win one in March.
It's like the Scorsese thing. How long
Yeah.
did he go before winning
Oh my
one?
God.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, like they finally gave it to him for Departed. And it was like, okay, yeah, that was amazing too.
Yeah, good for him. Well deserved.
Oppenheimer arrives on Peacock February 16th. I've only seen it the one time. Again, we reviewed it. Not my favorite Nolan movie, but it has been long enough that I do want to watch it again.
Okay.
I do. So
Are you going to watch it in 1 hour chunks or are you going to power all the way through it?
We'll see. I don't know.
Are you waiting for the Christopher Nolan cut? It's going to be 5 hours long?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's funny because when it came out on Steelbook, I was like, nah, I don't really want it. So I didn't get it. And now that I don't have it, I want the Steelbook.
You just saw.
But they don't have, they're not in stock anymore. They were all sold. And the
should've
Steelbooks
got
are
it
going
when
for
they had it.
$200 on Best Buy.
Damn, you could have got like 3 of them and made
Yeah.
some money.
Shut up.
No. I'm seriously, we got to start buying and selling Steelbooks. They fucking make a killing
It's
on
going to
it.
be our side job.
Yeah.
feel
I'm
like
into it.
that's-
Okay. Put me in a pool.
Okay.
Put me in a pool.
In a pool. Hey, I'm buying the Steelbooks today. How many you want, Josh? 5. Give me 5. All right, you're in for 5, Aaron. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Last thing I have is Tom Wilkinson has died at the age of 75. He's been in so many things, but I loved him most as Carmine Falcone in
that's
Batman
right.
Begins.
That's right.
You think because your mommy and daddy got shot that you know about the ugly side of life, but you don't. You've never tasted desperate.
You're Bruce Wayne. You're the Prince of Gotham. You'd have to go 1,000 miles to find someone that didn't know your name.
So don't come down here with your anger, trying to prove something to yourself. There's a world you never understand, and you always fear what you don't understand. All right, kick his ass.
I just realized.
So fucking good.
Good job.
He was
Tom
so good at
Wilkinson.
Falcone that he could have been the main character of that fucking movie and it still would have rocked.
I just realized this very moment that he literally did go 1,000 miles away, so no one would know his name.
Josh just figured out the movie.
Hey,
Wow, we reviewed
Josh.
Batman Begins last year.
That's crazy.
And Josh didn't get it. He
just
didn't understand the
realized
movie.
it now. No, I knew that.
Yeah,
But
Josh,
I
Bruce
didn't-
Wayne is Batman.
No,
Holy shit.
I didn't realize that he went to. I didn't realize he went to Mongolia because Carmine Falcone told him to go get the fuck out of here. That part I didn't get until right now. Wow.
The rusty gears grinded for a whole year.
I got it. I got
And
it.
it made one revolution that
I
just
got it.
came back around today.
Wow. Talk about long-term storytelling.
Oh, Josh.
I got it. Yeah. Went all the Mongolia.
No one cared who Josh was until he trolled everybody.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I knew he went all the way there so no one would know him, but I didn't realize it was because Carmine told him to go away.
I love Josh. God bless you for these light bulb moments you have.
Amazing. I never
make me
put
so
those two
happy.
together. That was great.
It's like Billy Madison, who's like, everyone in this room is now dumber.
Do I need to
Josh brings everyone's IQ down. You lose brain cells hanging around Josh.
You know what? I think I want to watch Batman Begins again.
Wait, I think I
There might
get it
be
now.
some- there
He's
might be
Batman.
some
The
new
little
nuggets.
boy is Bruce Wayne?
No.
Holy shit.
Get the fuck out of here. I knew that. I knew that. I'm just saying. The Carmine part.
Josh.
The Carmine part.
You know his parents wouldn't have died if he didn't get scared from the bats?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my,
so sad.
oh my God.
No, but I knew that one. I knew that
All
one.
right.
Yeah, I got that one.
Jesus Christ.
I knew that one.
What else? I'm done. I'm done. What do you guys have?
Holy shit! How did you not miss it? How did you not get this, Andrew? This is the biggest news out there.
What? Yeah.
For all the Daredevil fans out there, there have been reports, and we talked about it before, that Marvel was killing off Karen and Foggy.
yeah.
But Karen and Foggy reportedly are coming back to Daredevil Born again.
Well, not like more specifically, the actors that
Yes.
portrayed them in the show
Right. Yes,
are
yes.
coming back, are returning. So that's fucking awesome.
Yes. No, this is awesome news because it means that Disney is kind of changing their mind because, you know, they kowtowed to public peer pressure.
This has got to be part of the Marvel Netflix shows are canon now.
Yeah.
Well,
like
yes.
that has to be part.
No,
of it.
that's what they've also said that it's canon. Like
Right.
they were originally like, no, Daredevil's gonna be a reboot and he's gonna date She-Hulk, and then all the fans
They're gonna
went,
have to kill kids.
all the fans went,
That ain't gonna happen.
I'm canceling right now. Yeah,
I'll drop you on your stack of dimes you call Nick.
but listen,
She-Hulk.
this is such great news. Like,
Yeah.
Foggy and Karen are coming back. Punisher seems like it's on the
they're
track
saying
to be
he's
coming back.
Yeah,
I mean, just
John
so much
Bernthal
stuff.
even recently talked about it. Like,
Yes, and Kingpin has already proved that he's back to be a normal Kingpin.
Oh, yeah.
Like there is so much hope now.
I know.
Before, where I was just had dread when another Marvel series came out.
Yeah.
but now I have hope. It's kind of
Right.
nice.
now it's time to fix the movies.
Yeah.
That's the next step.
So another piece of information I've got is the downfall of Johnny Majors has continued.
Johnny Majors.
Majors
Johnny?
has lost another role. Apparently, he was going to play Dennis Rodman in a movie called 48 Hours.
It's such a shame that He Who Rapes is like this, and that's an Aaron joke, which I love. It's the best. But he would have been perfect to play Dennis Rodman.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Holy shit. He might be Dennis Rodman.
listen to the premise of this movie, which sounds amazing. The movie is about the 48 hours where Rodman spent in Vegas during the 98 NBA Finals.
Oh my God! When he went AWOL in Vegas
yes.
and the Bulls
Ended up going
wow.
to, what was it, a WCW?
Oh shit! That's amazing.
Yes, I was like, what? This sounds like the most Jonathan Majors role that's out there.
Perfect.
God,
who the fuck else is going to play
God, I
him?
hope they get Denzel to do that or
I don't
something.
know.
Jesus,
Denzel, he's like 60 years
Or
old.
just
I
have
don't care.
Rodman
Make
rephrase
that
himself.
movie happen.
You know what? Like Wesley Snipes.
Oh wow!
That'd be great. That'd be
Yeah.
good.
Hey, just de-age him. Yeah, we're going to de-age you,
Sure.
Wesley Snipes.
Do with everybody else.
So I've
Damn,
just
that
got.
would have been amazing.
I know. I was like, oh, that's a perfect role for him.
Maybe like Michael B. Jordan or something, but
Oh, yeah.
he doesn't have
Yeah.
the Rodman
That'd be good.
aura that like Majors would as
Yeah,
him, I guess.
he's a little too clean cut.
Yeah.
So the only thing I have is, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Greg Daniels, who created The Office, is assembling a writer's room to revive the show with a
Yeah.
new take.
No.
He has said that it's not going to be a reboot, but is looking to do another show within the same universe.
Stop it.
I heard this same thing, and the first thing that popped in my head, it's going to be in the same universe with none of the same characters. So it
So
takes
it's
place on Earth. What?
I think you
What-
might get
what is
some
that?
crossover.
Why?
Yeah,
how,
sure.
how is it even The
No,
Office?
just
It's going to be a rival paper company.
Just come up with a new idea.
Just stop.
He's had some good ideas, but yeah, no, I don't know. But we've talked about it before. Everyone is just trying to cash in on their previous success.
Once Steve Carell left, that show fell off
Just-
drastically.
Just let it be. Wait 15, 20 years and do a revival for a season or two.
Yeah, he'll come back because
He'll-
that's what everyone does.
Yeah,
now.
he'll come back for a revival in 15, 20 years.
Yeah, when he's done making romantic comedies.
Right.
That's all he fucking does now. We haven't seen Steve Carell in a movie in so long. It's like you're one of the funniest comedic actors.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
He wants to be taken to serious roles.
he needs to make the 60-year-old virgin. Or the 60-year-old whore.
Jesus.
That was his joke
Part
originally.
two. Part two.
Well, that was
is
his.
now-
That was his joke. He was like, "I think we're gonna make a sequel called The 41-Year-Old Whore."
That's right. That'd be. You know what? I would watch that though. Now he's a slut
Yeah, right.
or gigolo.
What else?
That's all I've got.
I just had a couple quick things.
Yeah.
So to kind of touch on what we talked about earlier, Bernthal talking about the Punisher, he said his return, it has to be right with real sacred integrity to the source material and to what's at the core of Frank. I'll do my best to make sure that if we do it, we'll do it right. And that's what I need to hear.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine Punisher versus Kingpin? Just fists.
Well, we kind of saw that in Daredevil season 2, I think, when he first showed up
in prison.
Oh, I guess that prison fight.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a prison fight, but that was just like the first fight.
Yeah, but again.
I mean, no, like having a Punisher season where Kingpin's the villain and they fight. Oh God!
I will say about John.
Want to talk about edging? Jesus,
absolutely.
About John Berthal, I do appreciate like how much like reverence he takes to that role. Like he seems to really like
care.
A lot of respect for
as
it.
a major Punisher fan. I love that he doesn't want to come back and just do a PG-13.
Yeah. PG Punisher.
I'll be Thomas Jane for you.
Like, hey, I love Tom Jane. That was fun.
Yeah.
Dirty Laundry was great, but yeah, I love that he only wants to do it right.
Dirty Laundry was great.
It was.
Also, Steven Soderbergh was approached about doing a sequel to the Oceans series, Oceans 11, 12, 13, but he turned it down. He said, just doesn't feel like a move forward for me. I'm chasing something else. They've been kind of talking about doing another Oceans movie for a little bit. We've heard some rumors.
You know what's... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not sure what I would think about it at this point.
Which one was the Chicks one? Was that an Oceans one
Oceans
too?
8.
Oceans 8? Okay.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I never saw any of these.
Really?
Yeah.
Oceans 11 was really good.
12 was a letdown. 13 was okay. The first one was a really fun heist movie. You should see the first one.
I think we should add that to the list.
You know what they are making this year?
What?
Heat 2.
Oh, yeah.
I
I'd
heard
seen
about
that.
Yeah.
I'd never seen Heat
I don't know
1,
what I
though.
think about
I
that
don't know what I
either.
think about that either.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like, what are you...
Apparently, it's going to be a prequel and a sequel. Like, it's going to have
God.
But I just... What?
Interesting.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds...
And first of all, spoiler alert, one of them's dead.
One of them's dead. It's...
Unless, like, they're just going to change it and be like, no, he didn't die. I bet that's what they're going to do. No, he didn't die.
It's so dicey, these 20, 30 year later sequels.
Yeah.
I don't know about those.
No.
Interesting.
Just a couple other things. Pixar's undergoing a bunch of layoffs this year. As many as 20% of their employees could be laid off, but it's kind of TBD how many they're going to lay off. Haven't we already been seeing a huge drop off in visual effects in movies lately?
Yeah.
Like we all saw The Flash, right?
Yeah. Oh
how much
my
of a
God.
train wreck
Remember
was
the
that?
babies? We're like, what is this? Am I watching Looney Tunes right now?
This is not
Did
the
they
way
just
to go.
draw them with pen and paper, those babies?
We don't need less people in the VFX.
From what I had seen about that report, they're going to be doing less movies. Is the reason why they're letting people go.
But no, it's funny when you mention that. There's like a really great meme where it's like visual effects in 2010, and it's like it just shows like like just or the 2010s and just shows like some awesome movies with great stuff, and then it shows now and like the effects have gotten worse.
It's like
somehow
She-Hulk or something. Or
Yeah.
The Flash. Yeah.
Here's 2020.
Yep.
It's a She-Hulk twerking with.
Also, John Krasinski and Natalie Portman are going to be starring in a Guy Ritchie movie called Fountain of Youth. Apparently, it's going to follow two estranged siblings who are going to partner up on a global heist to find the Fountain of Youth. I am such a sucker for like Indiana Jones type heist movies and globe-trotting movies like that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Krasinski's fun.
I haven't seen anything with Natalie Portman in a while either.
Yeah, aside from the Thor movie recently.
That's true. Thor, I guess.
But
that's
good
true.
point.
R.I.P.
And then just the last little thing I had. If you had to guess worldwide, how much money has the Timothy Chalamet Wonka movie made so far?
Worldwide?
How many weeks?
Worldwide.
How long
has
has it been out?
I think it came out like around Thanksgiving, maybe. Like,
It's been that long?
like early December, maybe. Because
400 million.
It was kind of like a Christmas season kind of movie.
300?
500 million
500.
worldwide. I wouldn't have guessed that
Well, that makes sense.
because
People love Munchkins.
Sure, but I didn't have a lot of excitement for this movie, and I don't think I knew a lot of people that did.
Quick little review,
Uh-oh.
because I saw it. Timothy Chalamet sucks.
Sure.
So
Review over.
that's it. He sucks. He's not a good actor. So what do
Review over.
they see in him?
I don't. The only things I know of him in
He's just
are,
hot. That's
are
it. He's a pretty boy.
What does he do?
Dune in this, right?
Yeah, he is. Oh my god.
Woof.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right.
Let's go.
X-Men First Class.
X-Men.
They refilmed the opening scene of the first X-Men movie. I'm 99% sure the first scene in the first X-Men movie is young Eric Lenscher. I know it's in the movie. I'm saying I think it's the first scene.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Isn't it?
That's why I was confused. I was like,
Maybe it's not the first scene in the first
seen
X-Men
this
movie.
Before, and then
Right,
it
but
turned
it's-
into be a whole different movie.
Whatever. Maybe it's not, but that scene
very
is
confused.
in the first movie. They reshot it with a young Eric Lenscher in the concentration camps, being separated from his family and discovering his powers by bending the fence. You know,
Well,
they
took a
reshot it
whole
because
different turn.
they had to film more, tell more of that story.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we see a young Charles Xavier waking up in the middle of the night, and he sees his mother in the kitchen, but he knows it's not really her because her fucking parents are rich, and her mother would never be caught dead in the kitchen. And Charles' mother turns into a young Raven / Mystique, like a 7-year-old or something, you know?
So I guess they just adopted that girl for the rest
Yeah,
of
and
their
this
life.
this is where they, like people have pointed out a lot, they really just change a lot from the original trilogy, where they were just like, fuck it, we're gonna do our own thing. But I didn't mind this change. But it does, if you go back and watch the original trilogy, like Professor X doesn't give two fucks about Mystique.
Right.
No, right. Yeah, and now there's some type of like weird quasi love thing between
Well,
them.
it's a brother and
It's
sister.
brother and sister. They're family.
Well, and
Stepsister.
But
Mystique seemed
still-
like she wanted
oh boy.
some of that Professor X cock.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, it
No,
seemed like
no,
it.
no.
No?
Maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't mind the change because again, I like these movies better anyway. But of course, Raven was looking for food. You know, she's homeless and hungry, and Charles tells her, "You'll never have to steal again." And yeah, they adopted her. Then we go back to the concentration camps, and we see Kevin Bacon playing Sebastian Shaw, who's working for the Nazis. And Kevin Bacon was awesome in this movie.
Oh man.
Kevin Bacon is awesome, but it's like, you should do more roles like this, bro.
I'll be honest. When I saw him here, I was like, "Oh, he's just going to be in a quick scene where he's like a Nazi person."
What a masterclass in being a villain.
Yeah, really good.
Do you know one of the best superhero villains? Really?
Yes.
And do you know why he did this movie?
No.
Because he lost millions of dollars in the Bernie Madoff scam.
Thanks, Bernie. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Bernie.
Bernie
Yep.
did us a solid.
Bernie. Yeah. He's talked about in interviews how like they lost most of their savings, him and his wife, and had to decide to work more and do movies that he wouldn't normally do.
I had to do this goddamn
I
X-Men
did this
movie.
stupid fucking superhero movie.
I had to wear this fucking dumb hat.
Hold on. Who would we have gotten stuck with as this character if it wasn't
So
Bacon?
they said that they were deciding between Kevin Bacon and Colin Firth, which makes sense because Matthew Vaughn casted Colin Firth in the Kingsman movies.
Right. Firth doesn't have that evil in him.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
He wouldn't have been able to pull that off.
Yeah. So, yeah, Kevin Bacon, Sebastian Shaw, he doesn't agree with the Nazis' ideology because he wants a super race of his own. Shaw tells Eric to move the coin. He puts a little Nazi coin on the table. He says, move the coin, but Eric can't do it. So Shaw brings in his mother and points a gun at her and tells Eric he has 3 seconds to move the coin. You know, zwei, or whatever. And Eric can't move the coin, so Shaw shoots her dead.
And damn,
Jesus.
that not only was that vicious, but goddamn, the reaction was vicious.
And it's like, here's the villain of the movie, and you already hate him. Like, it's perfect. And Eric's rage allows him to crush Shaw's little bell, and then he just starts throwing metal all around the room next to it. He also crushes the helmets of those other Nazis, which is really funny.
that was insane. I've
And
never
all
seen
of
that
this,
before.
all of this to the delight of Shaw, who's like laughing and smiling through all of it.
You know, I'll kind of touch on this as we get through this, but for me, I kind of mentioned this while we were watching it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similar Tarantino notes that I was picking up with this, like developing a villain that fast right out of the gate, like Christoph Waltz in
Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, just right out of the gate.
Right. Vicious villain who's smarter than everyone.
Yeah.
That's Tarantino. All of his villains are smarter than the heroes. If you ever paid attention to that, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I was like,
What?
nothing.
Okay. So Shaw tells Eric, "We will unlock your gift with anger and pain. You and me, we're gonna have a lot of fun together." And he gives Eric the coin, and then that coin turns into the title of the movie, X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
So cool.
Good shit.
Fast forward to 1962, and we see an adult Eric. He's looking for Shaw, and then he just fucking throws the coin on the wall where, he's looking for him. Then we see adult Charles Xavier using his powers to hit on a woman at a bar who has two different color eyes and calls her a mutant. Like, it's just funny how, he's like, yeah, anyone that has this power would do the same thing, even Charles Xavier.
And does he only want to fuck mutants? Right?
I'm sure he's more attracted to them.
Maybe. Okay.
It's what we never knew we wanted to see, like dignified Charles Xavier as like a 21-year-old scumbag.
Ladies'
Trying to
man.
fuck anybody
Hey,
he can.
baby.
Yeah. Like he reads her mind and gets her, the drink she likes and all that. And so she's insulted at first when he calls her a mutant, but then he gets her to accept it. And she says, one of the most repeated lines of the movie, mutant and proud.
Dang.
And Raven, I guess, gets annoyed by that or jealous or I don't know, but she shows up and changes her eyes to cockblock Charles. And he didn't appreciate that.
He did not appreciate that at all.
So they go home and Raven's in her natural blue form and she asks Charles if he'd date her like this. Or at first he says yes, but then she's like this. And he's like, oh, God, no.
No, please turn back.
Basically. And it's funny because, it's a reboot. So they casted, what the fuck's her name? Jennifer
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. And it's funny because she clearly had some sort of plastic surgery after this movie because she looks a little different. Including the Mystique, like makeup and costume. Like in Days of Future Past, they did a way better job with it. And really what I mean is they made her a lot sexier in Days of Future Past than in this one.
Right. Here, you would just barely want to fuck her. But, back, the other movies, you're like,
oh, right.
I'm sure.
That's debatable, Josh.
I got you.
So then, meanwhile, Eric brings a bar of Nazi gold to a bank that's, I guess, secretly helping former Nazis.
Right.
And Eric demands info on Shaw from the bank manager and tortures him by twisting the metal in his tooth.
Jesus.
Eventually just pulling it out.
That sounds painful.
Yeah. And he's like, merci.
Awesome inventive scene.
Then we meet Rose Byrne playing Agent McTaggart of the CIA. Her and her partner are surveilling some government officials in Las Vegas.
And holy shit, the scene that I didn't think I ever needed to see, but wow, I enjoyed every second of it.
Which scene is that?
When she took off her pants and started walking.
What are you doing? Using some equipment the CIA didn't give me?
Exactly. And
She has to blend in with all the HOAs.
And boy, howdy, thank you.
And she just happened to have all that shit on under her clothes.
Yeah, she knew.
Holy shit, dude.
She's
She's a cool chick.
She knew where she was going.
Then we meet the worst actress in this movie by far.
Oh, Jesus.
The only con about this movie was that at the time, January Jones was like an up and coming actress. She was in Mad Men, and for some reason she's in movies and TV shows. Like one of the worst actresses ever.
I have ever seen in my life.
Like, okay, I get it. She's pretty. There's other pretty women.
That can act better.
Just like Timothy Chalamet. There's other pretty boys.
Where was Margot Robbie during this?
I mean,
probably too young, maybe.
yeah.
I don't think she showed a single emotion in the whole movie.
No.
I don't think so.
She's so bad. But yeah, this is like a straight up sex party. And McTaggart, she takes her clothes off to blend in. She sneaks in. She sees Shaw threatening this Colonel Hendry with a mutant who can create tornadoes called Riptide. Mm-hmm. Not the best mutant to choose, but he wasn't one of the main ones.
Right, of all the mutants that they could cast,
I can create tornadoes. It came into play in the movie,
It did.
enough, but yeah.
That is kind of funny.
This was never going to be a like all the A-list X-Men characters kind of movie.
Yeah, I guess you weren't going to see Juggernaut.
The other one is fucking awesome, but Emma Frost shows Hendry that she could read his mind. She turns into this diamond form. And then the coolest mutant, Azazel, fucking Nightcrawler's daddy,
Pretty awesome.
pops up and he just looks so fucking cool.
It is.
It really does.
He's just a demon from hell.
That's what it looked like.
And he teleports Colonel Hendry to a meeting where Hendry says that they should put nuclear missiles in Turkey. Meanwhile, Eric is visiting a bar in Argentina that's owned by Nazis and hiding. This is one of the best scenes of the movie.
This to me was a Tarantino scene.
Sure.
Like the tension in this scene was just Tarantino.
Yeah. Eric acts like he's one of them at first. He's, the Nazis are like, oh, yeah, my parents were pig farmers. Oh, my parents were tailors. And he's like, oh, my parents were from this place too. And they're like, oh, what's their names? He goes, they didn't have a name.
Oh,
It was taken from them
Damn.
by pig farmers and tailors.
Oh,
God,
my God.
And at that moment, you knew they
and
were
then he
fucked.
just turns his arm to show them the numbered tattoo. And then one guy tries to stab him. He grabs the knife. First he drinks the beer.
They're all
slowly.
drinking, and the two Nazis
And that's
are
like
just
they're just
terrified.
so nervous.
Like, what the fuck do we do?
And that's where he turns his arm.
Yeah.
One guy tries to stab him, but he grabs a knife, reads it. He goes, blood and honor. Which would you like to shed first? We were under orders. This one, blood. Whoosh, and he stabs the guy in his fucking arm.
You know what? There's a movie I want to see. I want to see Michael Fassbender, the Nazi hunter.
No, yeah, really. Well, Inglourious Bastards, I guess, was kind of. The bartender tries to shoot him, but he stops the gun from firing. And then he throws the knife at him and then pulls it back, stabs the guy again.
Oh.
And then he's like, what are you? Let's just say I'm Frankenstein's monster and I'm looking for my creator. And then he fucking grabs the gun and shoots the guy dead. And it's that's James Bond. That is James Bond. Even the way he turned, the way he turned and shot is
Yes, great line.
That is an awesome line.
I love that. Looking for my creator.
we know what Andrew wants to see.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Charles is graduating as a professor of genetics, and he's getting drunk and he's getting ready to fuck someone else. No, it's funny. The girl he hit on in the beginning is waiting for him in that moment.
Yeah.
And he's walking up to her, but then Agent McTaggart pops up. And then you could see in the background the woman getting jealous, and she's like, fuck this guy. And she walks away.
Oh, man.
Like, oh, you found someone else.
Right, because this is twice that she's been cock-blocked. She's like, there won't be a third.
Well, I guess I'm not getting that dick. Yeah.
I guess I'm not getting that mutant dick.
Yeah. So Charles reads McTaggart's mind, and he sees the mutants that she saw in Vegas. Then we have Shaw bringing Colonel Hendry onto his boat to kill him. But Hendry was smart. He brought a grenade to protect himself. He says, let me go with my money or I'll pull this grenade. We'll all die. And Shaw's like, pull the pin. Come on.
Go ahead.
And Shaw grabs the grenade from him, pulls the pin himself. But when it goes off, we see that Shaw has powers as well.
Wow.
He absorbs the fucking explosion. And then he touches the Colonel Hendry
I was
to
shocked.
transfer the energy into him, and he explodes.
I was shocked.
Pretty cool. Yeah, because I didn't know, I didn't really know about Sebastian Shaw. I didn't read a lot of X-Men comics, so I was surprised too when I first saw this movie.
Yeah, me neither. So
And it's like, oh, of course, that's why he wants to create.
I'm guessing
mutant himself.
he was already a mutant?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why he
That's why he
probably
goes-
wasn't afraid of little Eric when he was a kid.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
he's
that
like,
was the whole point of what he was doing. He didn't give a shit about the Nazis. He was trying to build his mutant
And that's why
masteries
he
back
didn't,
then.
that's why he hadn't aged. If anything, he looks younger than he did in that scene because he goes,
Oh, yeah.
I have the power to absorb energy. Keeps me young. That's the boring part.
Right,
the interesting
right.
thing is what I can do with what when I've got it. And then bam.
Interesting.
So then Agent McTaggart takes Charles to her bosses, but they don't believe that he's a mutant. They don't believe mutants exist. So he asks them about the missiles in Turkey. And they're like, you brought a goddamn spy here. They think he's a spy. So Raven turns into Agent Stryker. Stryker's father. And Charles is like, how's that for a magic trick?
And then all of a sudden, it's Oliver Platt.
Yay!
It's Jimmy King from Ready to Rumble. And he's like, best I've ever seen.
That's what you pull up from Oliver Platt.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Ready to Rumble.
Oh, yeah. It's Jimmy King.
man.
What the He's amazing. Then Eric shows up to Shaw's boat to kill him, but Emma Frost gives him a headache. I guess that's the best way to explain it. Like whenever she just...
She gives us all a headache in this movie.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Eric throws his knife, but Emma catches it and then knocks him off the boat. Platt takes Charles to go after Shaw with the Coast Guard, but Emma blocks his powers. And then Eric uses his powers to destroy Shaw's boat. Thankfully, they have a submarine attached underneath and they escape.
Yeah, that's very creative.
And Eric uses his powers to like start following the sub, but he's underwater. And Charles jumps in the water to stop him. And he talks to Eric in his head. He's like, stop it. You'll drown. Please calm your mind. And then they get out of the water and Eric tells Charles, I thought I was alone. And Charles says, Eric, you're not alone.
He was not alone. Yeah, because they didn't know each other before then. So it was kind of interesting.
So I've always been interested in this line by Eric saying, I thought I was alone. So did he not know that Shaw had powers? And when January Jones turned into Diamond Form, was he like, what the fuck? Like, did he not know right until then?
He must not have known.
Yeah.
He must not have.
It's interesting.
Or maybe he thought he was alone and people that wanted to get
He probably-
No, that's not it.
He probably thought Shaw was just a Nazi that was trying to get him.
Because he goes, you were in my head. And he goes, you have your powers, I have mine. He goes, I thought I was alone. Yeah. So
Interesting.
then Oliver Platt, which is funny. I wasn't gonna say Oliver Platt because I'm not doing that with anyone else, like saying their real name. But in the credits, he's just listed as the Man in Black.
Oliver
He's
Platt.
he's
I
an
gotcha.
MIB agent. Like
Interesting. Okay.
we are the Men in Black.
We are Oliver Platt.
So the Man in Black takes Charles, Eric, Raven, and McTaggart to his facility, where we meet Hank McCoy working there.
Hey.
And Charles accidentally exposes Hank, who is hiding his powers.
Way to out
It's like,
somebody.
hey, you've got one working here already.
Yeah.
Wait,
a
what?
one what?
Hank?
He's like, I'm so sorry.
Fuck.
Charles convinces Hank to show off, and he has the beast feet. The rest of him, he looks like a normal human, but he has like the feet.
Right. I was wondering how he got it, so it was kind of interesting.
And Raven instantly crushes on him.
Which is kind of a nice touch because super way back when X-Men first started in the comics, he wasn't always a blue-haired monster. He started off just as kind of like a big dude, kind of like that. So
Giant
this
ass
was kind of a nice touch on that to start him off as just kind of like a big freaky dude.
Right. So then Frost warns Shaw about Charles getting in his head, but Shaw says, the Russians made me this. And it's a very familiar helmet.
It was very familiar. I was wondering how he got it because, like I said, I had watched Future Past.
And wondering how, like, again, January Jones, how she got this role. I bet she gives great helmet.
Oh, yeah.
You think she found the helmet?
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Josh doesn't like that movie, by the way.
And it, such a good, moment
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
see
yeah.
the helmet the first time.
What
Yeah.
is happening?
That's from Spaceballs. I bet she gives a great helmet.
I don't watch Spaceballs.
Yeah. Shaw tells her to get him some ice, and we see that they're hiding out in Antarctica.
That was such.
Which is just like, it's just a cute scene just for the sake of like, oh, that's cool. They're in Antarctica. But it doesn't really come into play.
It was kind of funny because he was like,
Or maybe they're just in, no, that's Antarctica, right? It's not just Russia somewhere.
It was Antarctica or the North Pole or something like that.
It's the North, yeah.
But it's South Pole, whatever. Still, Antarctica is the South Pole.
What?
Antarctica is the South Pole.
Okay.
Anyways, what I was saying was,
Isn't it both? Isn't North and South Pole Antarctica?
no, I don't think so.
Did you just change your name to Josh?
Hold on.
What the fuck is
No,
happening?
no,
What?
it's not. No, Greenland. Greenland.
Trying to
isn't.
fool Josh.
Anyways, what I was saying was, it's kind of funny because she's like, "Oh, you can't read my brain," and he's
Yeah.
like, "Go get me ice, bitch." It was kind of hilarious. It was very.
He goes, fetch me some.
It was very sexist. Good girl. It was very funny.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hank tells Raven he's developing a serum that allows him to hide his mutant feet. You get to keep your powers, but hide like the outside of it, which is interesting because, he made the first cure because in the Last Stand, remember there was a cure that also didn't work.
Right.
Or it temporarily worked.
Right.
So Raven's interested in that, but Eric interrupts right as they're about to kiss. And it's funny because he says, it's an interesting line where he goes, if I looked like you, I wouldn't change a thing. But he's looking at her fake form in that scene.
Right. Has he seen her blue yet by that point?
I don't think so.
I think he's only seen her.
Right.
Or the fake her.
Yeah.
And he's right. I wouldn't change a thing.
No, me neither.
So Charles, I mean, in real life, like there's parts in this movie where people call them freaks, but if there was a woman that looked like that, you know, like everyone would just want to fuck her.
Oh, yeah, like looking like Blue Mystique. Everybody would want to fuck Blue
no one would
Mystique.
care.
I mean, have you been to a Comic-Con?
Oh,
Like if an alien,
especially now. If she walked through Comic-Con, holy shit.
if an alien came from another planet, even if it wasn't necessarily hot, people would be like, I wonder what it's like to put my penis in that.
And then
There would
Chop
be
would wanna fuck.
100,000 people lined up to fuck that alien.
Yeah, even if it was ugly.
Yes.
Can I fuck it? Okay. Yeah, so then Eric steals some files. He plans to leave, but Charles convinces him to stay. I like the line where Eric says, what do you know about me? And Charles says, everything. It's great.
Because he's already read his brain.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the man in black, Oliver Platt, shows them Cerebro, which was created by Hank.
Nice.
Charles tries it out, and Hank's like, are you sure we can't shave your head? Don't touch my hair. Just a little joke.
Oh, for future.
Because you know he's gonna lose it.
Get it?
Charles and Eric, then another one of my favorite scenes in this movie. Charles and Eric use Cerebro to find and recruit more mutants, and it's one hell of a montage.
Amazing.
First, yeah.
Did they just go to a strip club together? And
First, they go to strip club. They find a stripper named Angel, played by Catwoman herself, Zoe Kravitz. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we'll show you ours if you show us yours. And she's like, oh, God, I'm going to have to fuck these guys.
And then they fucked her together?
I guess, yeah.
Question mark?
I mean, why not?
I guess.
You know, they have a bond. It seems like Charles and Eric kind of are into each other.
Yeah, they're like really, really, really good friends.
And they're still like early 20s. Like they're
Yeah.
still dirtbags, right?
they're still experimenting. You never know.
And Angel has fairy-like wings, like she's Tinkerbell.
I did think she was like
Is this a
Tinkerbell.
real mutant? Because there is Angel, but it's not this Angel. There's
Right. Yeah, that was weird.
because they had Angel in X-Men 3,
Yeah.
but then they had Angel in X-Men First Class. Then they had a different Angel in Apocalypse.
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Archangel.
They love that.
Well, they're the same. It's
Yeah.
he starts as Angel and becomes Archangel.
right.
But yeah, it's
right,
not
right.
it's not her.
But in this X-Men universe, there's 3 different Angels.
I guess. Yeah.
It's interesting. Then they also find a young man named Darwin. They get Alex Summers out of prison. Another teenager named Banshee can create a sonic scream. And then one of the best cameos ever.
Oh,
Ever.
so good.
Hugh Jackman, Logan, Wolverine, alone, drinking in a bar. Charles and Eric walk up. Excuse me, I'm Eric Lyncher. Charles Xavier, go fuck yourself. Taken from Josh
Fuck
Reese's mouth.
yourself.
Go fuck
One
yourself.
line.
Fucking gimmick infringements. I
That's
appreciate
it.
it.
Just
That was great.
the
One
one
line
fuck you
gold.
get in a PG-13 movie. Go fuck yourself. And they immediately like, all right, let's leave this guy alone.
Fair enough. He's had some world experiences. I don't think he can
yeah,
help.
he's not ready yet. Oh, it's perfect.
But he sure could have helped. He sure could have helped.
Absolutely. They should have tried harder.
That's right. Right.
is
Who
how
gives
you-
up on the first try?
This is how you do cameos, Hollywood.
Yeah. Then we have we see the Teenage Mutants. They're not Ninja Turtles, but they're Teenage Mutants. They're hanging out and they're showing off their powers to each other. Alex goes last. He cuts the statue in half. And then Charles, Eric, and McTaggart express their disappointment in them, which, like, who gives a fuck about that stupid statue?
Right.
And Raven says, Alex should be called Havoc. You should be Professor X, and you should be Magneto. And Eric's like, okay.
All right.
Thanks,
No
children.
one gives a fuck.
Thanks, children.
Meanwhile, McTaggart takes, because they were going to like bring them along with them, but they were like, yeah, they're not ready yet. So McTaggart takes Charles and Eric to Russia. because they think they know where Shaw is. However, they find out only Emma Frost is there. So McTaggart's like, plan aborted. Eric's like, fuck that shit. I'm not CIA. So he goes in. Frost is busy seducing a Soviet general with her mind while Eric is violently attacking the soldiers. And
I loved that.
like
That was great.
in the original X-Men trilogy, I get it. Like Ian McKellen's Magneto, he's an old man. He's figured out his powers. He could easily do them. It's like with a grace, just whatever.
Right.
But this is a younger Magneto. He hasn't fully reached his potential yet. So when he uses his power, like he's so physical with his hands.
Right.
Like when he hits you with something, he's like, gah! Like it's just like, fuck, it's
I
so
just
good.
figured he liked being upfront and personal. He wanted to personally do things to people.
Right. But just like, he's so dramatic with how he does, like how he uses his hands. I love it. It's great. Then Charles and Eric bust in the room while the general's busting his pants, thinking Emma Frost is riding him.
A lot of busting.
It did seem like that.
But Charles puts him to sleep. Little fun fact, we talked about Batman Begins earlier. That Soviet general is the homeless man in Batman Begins.
Yes. Nice coat.
That's a nice coat.
Oh, wait. So he was fired by the Soviets after this, and then
Yeah.
he moved to Gotham because
Yeah.
he was out of a job.
You got
Yeah.
it, Josh.
And he dreams of Emma Frost riding his dick every night.
Who wouldn't, right?
So Frost turns into diamond form and gives Charles a headache, but they grab her and Eric traps her with the metal from the bed. He's choking her with the metal as Charles demands he stop. But Eric does it until she loses the diamond form, which allows Charles to read her mind. And he sees Shaw's plan to start nuclear war to kill all humans so that there's only mutants.
Yeah, I think he said it was like so the mutants would get more powerful as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, no,
We are the children of the atom.
smart plan.
Yeah.
Smart plan.
So Shaw is basically like Homelander at this point.
Yeah.
Like we've now realized that's his plan.
Sure. Back at the CIA facility, Azazel is killing all the agents by grabbing them,
Oh my God.
teleporting to the sky, and then dropping them.
Is this the
It's-
most unique thing I've ever seen?
It's cool.
It's so perfect because that's like if you suddenly
That's the most
realize
practical thing you would
that's
do.
the most practical
Yes.
thing you would do. Just
Yeah.
like zoop, 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 just
Yeah.
drop them all from the sky.
Including Oliver Platt, which is like, oh no, Oliver Platt. He was the
Yeah.
nice one.
Oh, the guy
Squish.
from Executive Decision.
Oh, Jimmy King.
Oh shit, he was from Executive Decision. That's another good movie we gotta watch.
Shaw walks in the building and a bunch of them shoot at him, but obviously nothing happens. Riptide, spins some of them around with his fucking tornadoes. And then Shaw introduces himself to the teenagers and he offers them to join him. Of course, the stripper, the stupid one, agrees to go with Shaw. So then Darwin pretends to go with them as well. But then he covers Angel as Alex throws his energy blast, but Shaw absorbs it. And then he feeds it to Darwin. Oh. He goes, adapt to this. And he puts it in Darwin's mouth.
And that's the scene where I was like, because they'd had a couple moments with Darwin, but I was like, they actually developed him as a character a little bit to where I was like, oh shit, I kind of felt bad for him when he died.
Right.
Yeah, this was a hell of an emotional beat, but it's also a little bit of a character hiccup there because Shaw had a line a little bit earlier where he like stopped January Jones or something. He said, we don't hurt our own kind.
Yeah. So he's a hypocrite.
But you killed Darwin, so
He's a hypocrite. Yeah.
I think he was only looking
we
for
don't
one
kill
thing.
our own kind unless
It's a
Unless
man.
I really want to.
Unless
I
it's a
really want
man.
to or it serves our purposes.
Unless there's this Darwin guy that's like, he's pretty good. He's, you know what? He's pretty good.
I think he was only looking for one thing.
We don't hurt our own kind unless they really piss me off.
Yeah. Again, Homelander.
Yeah.
That's right.
So then Shaw meets with the Soviet general and tells him to put missiles in Cuba. The general's like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's about to make a phone call, but Azazel fucking teleports in there with Angel and Ripped Tornado Guy. Riptide's too cool of a name, Tornado Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And he's like, oh, okay, never mind. So the Soviet general sends their fleet to head to Cuba. Meanwhile, Frost is being held captive by the CIA. And she just sucks. Then Charles,
she's not very important from here on out.
And she's basically out of the movie at this point.
again, like it's on YouTube. Go look up Michael Caine blinking.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's this class Michael Caine taught young actors about how you're not supposed to be constantly blinking, really like blinking at all in a scene. He's like, if I'm just talking to you and I'm blinking, you know how much you're gonna pay attention? Never. You're never gonna pay attention. But no, it's like in this scene, she just is like, she's blinking like 3 times a second. It's just,
Yes.
oh my God.
Incredibly distracting.
It's like her eyelashes got stuck inside of her eyes and she was to unblink them out or
she's
something.
just not a good actor.
So this was the scene? Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, go back and look at this scene specifically and try to count. I think I counted 13.
Yeah,
I think
in
Aaron
like 5
had
seconds.
15. Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting.
So Charles takes the group to his house to train before they go after Shaw, and we get a great training montage.
Yeah.
Like where they actually take time with each of them. And it's like, it's just Charles helping all of them out. Hank learns to run really fast. Hank makes a device to help Alex aim his blast better. Banshee learns to fly.
Right.
And he gets his suit that looks just like a suit in the comics
Yeah.
with the stripes on the little wingsuit thing.
And then Raven's like benching, whatever.
Right.
She's working on her muscles. She's trying to get stronger. She wants to help the team.
She's working out, but she's in her, human-like form, and Eric tells her, you want society to accept you, but you can't even accept yourself.
Yeah, and like to your point, I don't think he's still seen her blue.
No,
Unless
he did
he's-
in that scene.
Oh, he did?
He did in that scene.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Remember
when
he threw the thing back at her, and then she turned
That's
blue to catch it, and he's
right.
like,
Yeah.
that
was
could
pro-
save your life.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
So then we have the scene where Charles tells Eric to turn this giant satellite, but he can't. And it's funny because we've already seen X-Men movies where Magneto like just fucking lifts giant things. And in those movies, like it meant nothing, you felt nothing, but here it's like, turn this satellite, this big satellite.
Right.
And Charles tells Eric, he's like, I believe the key is to find a point between rage and serenity. And he finds this old memory of Eric with his mother, and he like forces Eric to remember it. Even Eric was like, I didn't even remember that. Like, I didn't even know I still had that.
It was a sweet scene.
And that allows Eric to then like pretty easily turn the satellite. And it was just like such a fucking cool moment. And
Right.
he's crying, and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, because you're seeing them all get built up into developing their powers a little bit more.
And even the pacing in this, because it starts off with him and Magneto like doing that, and then they go to all of the other montage stuff, and then at the end of the montage they circle back
Yeah.
to him and Eric
Yeah.
doing that scene. Just so well done.
Then we have JFK, announced he's like, the Soviets, once they cross the quarantine line into Cuba,
We're going to destroy them all.
it'll be taken as a declaration of war. And then Charles and Eric play a game of chess, which they play a lot of chess. And Eric tells Charles that he's going to kill Shaw and says the humans will turn on them
Right.
after they stop Shaw. And Charles says, there's 2 great lines in this scene. Charles says, we have the ability to be the better man. And Eric says, we already are.
Of things to come.
And then Charles says, listen very carefully. Killing Shaw won't bring you peace. And Eric says, peace was never an option. It's like,
Frank.
that's pretty
Castle.
fucking badass. It's pretty badass.
The Punisher right there.
He's like, I don't even want peace, motherfucker. Meanwhile, Hank develops the serum, but Raven doesn't want it anymore. Hank tells her that her blue form will never be deemed beautiful. And he's like, you look beautiful now, like this. And she cries. She's like, you fucking asshole.
Wrong thing to say.
Right. Because she's been trying to get in there for so long.
Yes.
Oh,
Jesus.
so sad.
So then Hank goes, he leaves, he injects the serum into his foot, and it works at first, but then he starts hulking out and turning blue.
I guess that's the best way.
Fast forward a little bit, but like, all right, we'll save it. I'll save it.
Well, my only annoyance with this scene is like he still left like a part of the serum with her, and like as soon as he turned into like a big big blue Hulk, he should have went like, oh shit, I gotta go make sure she didn't take any
Well,
of the shit.
I remember when I saw this movie with Joe, and Joe goes, all right, so shouldn't they all take it? To all become more powerful? Because later he's like, it didn't attack the cells, it enhanced them. It's like, all right, well, we should all take this, right? We should all take the thing and
Steroids?
we'll all become more powerful.
That's true too. Very true as well.
Should.
I don't know what would have made Raven more powerful though. I guess just giving her more steroids.
Just meanwhile, Raven surprises Eric in his room naked under the sheets because she got rejected by Hank, or I guess she feels rejected by Hank. So she's like, well, I'm going to go fuck Eric. And he says maybe in a few years. So Raven ages herself a few years into the original Mystique played by Rebecca Romaine in a little...
So awesome.
Another great cameo.
Very good cameo.
So good.
And he says, I prefer the real Raven. And then she goes back to her younger human self. I said the real Raven. And then, blue form, and he goes, perfection. Which that's become like a meme.
A meme, yeah.
Such a popular meme now.
And that didn't turn him off.
No.
And in fact, he didn't have to wait until she got older.
He kissed her. That's it.
You sure?
He's like, I'll fuck you in a couple years. Or
guess.
maybe even months.
All right, you're giving him a little bit too much room.
Well, because even in Days of Future Past, they don't say it directly. But at one point, Charles asks about Raven, and Eric's like, we were.
Delicious.
Like, he gets like,
Yeah.
oh, Charles.
They were a thing.
Oh, if I
Charles.
could tell you the things you could
Your
have had.
stepsister, Charles.
They
You
were a
should have
thing
got in
for
there when you
sure.
had a chance.
Oh, Charles. If only you knew.
Oh, the crazy shit we did.
Yeah. So then Raven confronts Charles while naked and blue, and he's very uncomfortable by it.
Well, yeah.
The next morning, the
And she
team...
has a really mean line too. She references I'm just your pet,
Right,
basically.
yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
She's like, I hope you get paralyzed one day.
Sure.
Soon, like tomorrow. That'd be perfect if it happened tomorrow. So the next morning, the team suits up, and then Hank walks up, and he's full beast now. He didn't look great.
No.
It wasn't a great makeup job.
No, he looked half Muppet.
He looked half Muppet. Like Kelsey Grammer's version looks way better.
For sure.
Why didn't they get the same makeup person?
Yeah.
He just kind of looks like a dog.
Yeah.
You know what? He
like
looked
a
like
fucked up mangy
he
dog.
looked like a blue Grinch. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
He's about to steal Christmas. It's fucking bullshit.
Very strange.
Yeah, he didn't look great. It's funny, they vastly improved on Mystique and Beast in the next one because in Days of Future Past, he looks awesome as Beast.
He does. Yeah.
And she looks really cool as Mystique. The Soviets are about to cross the line, but they're given new orders to turn around. Also, the U.S. Navy captain is Richter from Total Recall.
See you at the party,
right.
Richter.
See you at the party.
So then Azazel kills everyone on board the Soviet ship, and he forces it to keep going forward. So they show up in the jet that Hank built. He's fucking smart.
Yeah. He can work with metal too.
Charles gets into a Soviet's head to fire a missile and blow up the ship, but Azazel escapes in time.
I love it. The Soviet captain was like, "Congrats, you've averted World War III."
Yeah.
Off to the brig.
Yeah, exactly.
He's dead now.
Yeah. Then they send Banshee in the water to use his sonar to find Shaw. Meanwhile, Shaw is absorbing more energy to create his own nuclear bomb. I guess he wants to start it himself. And then Eric uses his powers to pull the submarine out of the water. And that's another awesome scene. They make such a big deal out of it.
Very cool.
And
Didn't
at first,
kill anybody.
Even Eric again's like, remember,
Yeah.
between rage and serenity. Riptide then creates a tornado to try to stop Eric, and the sub and the plane both crash on an island. And then Alex and Beast fight Azazel, Angel, and Riptide while Eric looks for Shaw. It's a good little fight scene, nothing amazing, but
I have to admit, the Tinkerbell flying around and throwing the mist or whatever she was doing, I thought that was kind of lame.
like little fireballs, I guess.
Little fireballs. That was a little bit
she's
lame.
a bit of a weak villain.
And then Azazel is about to kill Beast, but Sebastian Shaw is like, Azazel, no. And then Beast knocks out Azazel, and then Shaw was really Mystique. That was cool. Meanwhile, Eric disables the nuclear reactor in the submarine, and then Shaw reveals himself to him, but he's too powerful, and he's beating up Eric by breaking the walls inside, and
Right.
that allows Charles to start to feel where they are, and he gets inside Eric's head again. And Shaw tells Eric, we should be fighting together. And Eric tricks Shaw into thinking he's believed him. He's like, I've become more powerful because of you. You are my creator. And then Shaw smiles, but then Eric uses his powers, like some fucking cord, to pull off the helmet.
Right.
And then Charles gets inside Shaw's mind to freeze him. And even like Charles says, like, please be quiet. Like, I can only control this man for so long, which begs the question, what was Charles' plan if not to kill him?
Yeah, it's a good
I'm gonna hold on to him for a few seconds, and then
what?
Put him in handcuffs.
Put him in handcuffs.
Because he's already absorbed all that nuclear power.
Hold on, I'm gonna lobotomize him from inside. Well, isn't that worse? Isn't that worse than killing him?
But it's quicker, I guess. I don't know.
Like, what was his plan if not, like, that's...
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So,
sleep forever.
Eric grabs the helmet and he goes, sorry, Charles. It's not that I don't trust you. And he puts the helmet on. And Charles pleads with Eric to stop. Eric tells Shaw, if you're in there, I want you to know I agree with every word you said. We are the future. But, unfortunately, you killed my mother.
Oh, boy.
So here's what we're going to do.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to count to 3. And he gets the coin.
And
Same fucking coin.
And I'm going to move the coin.
And he slowly forces the coin through Shaw's head. And they cut back and forth from Shaw to Charles. And it's the same shot. And it's to, like, I guess show you that Charles is feeling like the emotional pain of what Shaw's going through. Like,
I
the
guess
emotional
that's
pain of a
true.
coin going through your brain.
Since
And
Shaw
he's
is
screaming,
kind
he's
of
like, "Ah!" Yeah.
Since Shaw's emotionless.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that was fucking so bad.
This is one of the best vengeance payoff
yeah.
scenes ever.
Oh yeah.
So good. So satisfying.
My only quibble with it, and I guess it's fine because he does end up becoming a villain, but it's just like, you're essentially doing Shaw's still kind of plan. Like, hey, you're killing me, but you're just kind of taking over my role.
No, that's why but he said that.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but he's telling it to Shaw, so you're giving Shaw.
He said, look, we could have been BFFs, but you killed my mom, you fucking idiot.
It's like, I agree with you. I'm going to carry your thing on.
Yeah.
But
You killed my mom.
I
You
guess.
hurt me, I hurt you.
Hurt you times 12.
Yeah. So Eric shows off Shaw's dead body. I guess he's making him float with the coin in his brain.
no, he had like some cords wrapped
Oh, he
around his
did?
arms
Okay,
that he was,
yeah. He tells everyone that the humans in the water are the real enemy. And he's right, because the U.S. and Russians agree to fire their missiles at the mutants. Eric manages to easily stop the missiles in midair. Just a really cool shot. He just puts his hand up, and they stop right in front of him.
It's very Neo-like.
And then he just turns his hand, and the missiles turn around.
Oh, boy.
And Charles tells Eric, he's like, there's thousands of men on those ships, innocent men. They're just following orders. Oops.
Oh, wrong choice of words.
I've been at the mercy of men just following orders.
Damn it.
Never again.
Oh,
And then they just show a shot of his hand just fucking sending the missiles. And you're like, well, you know what that means.
Right.
And Charles tackles Eric, and some of the missiles explode in the air. Eric beats up Charles, but McTaggart shoots at him, and Eric deflects the bullets, but then the last one goes into Charles's back.
Oh.
And I loved how as all in as Eric was at this point into his mission, he immediately drops all of that.
Yeah.
To
He cared.
go
Tend
take
to his
care of
friend,
Charles.
right?
Cared more about Charles.
They'd grown into, kind of friendship.
The missiles explode in the air, and the U.S. and Russian celebrate. It's funny when they think they're about to die, and Richter's like, gentlemen, it's been an honor serving with you. Like,
Right.
Right.
Oh
It's not
my
like
God.
they can't shoot any more missiles to try to hunt them down?
they're dead. I mean, they're dead either way. I think they fired all the missiles. I think that was the point. Fire all the missiles.
Yeah, maybe.
Then Eric takes the bullet out of Charles and starts choking McTaggart with her own necklace, blaming her. But Charles tells Eric, she didn't do this. You did. So Eric's like, we're brothers. We should be on this. We want the same thing. And Charles is like, No, we don't. So Eric offers anyone to go with him, including Raven. But Raven walks over to Charles and he tells her, you should go with him. It's what you want. She says, you promised never to read my mind. And Charles apologizes. And it's a heartbreaking scene that Josh laughs at.
No,
It's fucked up because she was going to go with Eric anyways.
Right.
You really kind of walk away from this movie thinking Raven's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, she's like, take care of him. All right, cool, thanks. Yeah, we got it. Hey, can we get the teleporter to at least bring us home?
I mean,
what the fuck? What do we do? Like, what do we do now?
Charles has been taking care of Raven forever.
Hey, Eric, before you leave, you think we could borrow Azazel just for a minute? Just take us off this island.
Hey, before he leaves, can you take Charles to a doctor, please? Jesus Christ.
So yeah, they're leaving with Eric, and before they leave, Raven tells Beast, mutant and proud. And Hank's like, yeah, okay. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And then sometime later, we see McTaggart pushing Charles in his wheelchair as he plans to open up his school. And McTaggart gives them the name X-Men. And Charles and McTaggart kiss. But then Charles erases her memory so that she can't tell the CIA where he is.
Roofied.
Roofied.
Sorry. She said she woke up in her bed all alone. Come on. Roofie,
with cum
right?
in me. Whoa. And the boss is like, this is why the CIA is no place for a woman.
Oh, boy.
Goddamn chicks.
Now, I will point out maybe a small plot hole. Because in this, he didn't completely wipe her memory. She remembers him. She remembers the kiss, right? Then in X-Men Apocalypse, she remembers nothing. Nothing.
Oh, he's like, I didn't do a good job. I've got to go back and do this shit again.
Maybe he re-wiped her.
Yeah.
Maybe he got the Men in Black thing and
no,
did it again.
He went back to visit her. See, I think he's going back every 6 months to get a taste of McTaggart.
He goes back every 6 months. He temporarily gives her the memories back. They fuck and then wipes her memory again.
It's just
every
like
6 months.
It's just like the boys. It's just like the boys.
Oh my God.
Oh man, that's terrible.
That
He would
is
never
terrible.
do that. Professor X, maybe. Then the last scene: Eric, Azazel, Angel, and Riptide bust Emma Frost out of custody.
For reasons unknown.
Eric, well, she's powerful, even if she
tits.
sucks.
I gotcha.
We never see again.
Eric's like three-way,
Hey, bad girl 3-way?
Eric tells Frost to join them, and she says, Eric, I believe. And then he says, I prefer Magneto.
Awesome. And he's
Credits.
conveniently painted the helmet red.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
And he's added some horns to it as well, like little Loki horns. It's kind of interesting.
I don't think that's what did we watch the same movie, Josh?
There's some little horns on top of it,
No,
too.
there's no horns on Magneto's
I'm pulling it
helmets.
up right goddamn now.
Okay.
Go ahead. It might
Please
take
do
me-
that.
There
Josh.
was,
pull it up.
there was his like logo or whatever.
It was a logo?
Like whatever it was on there. It was attached to it. He's not completely wrong. You're not going to find this quick enough.
Magneto horns for sale? No. Okay, y'all keep on talking. I'm going to figure it out. Oh, I don't think that's it.
First class, last scene.
I don't think that's it either. Okay, I'm probably going to figure it out.
Hold on. One
Hey, it's
second.
not that biggest of things. I just wanted to be right.
Like that.
Yeah, like
of a
little
bitch.
horns.
Yeah. He had some horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. How about that, Josh? Good old Joshie's right every once in a while.
So the sequel to this movie was originally going to be everyone returning. You know, like it was going to be Magneto's team and Charles's team, but the movie didn't do that well in theaters. Like it was it did the worst of any X-Men movie thus far.
Yeah.
And so Fox demanded that Hugh Jackman be the star of the next one.
Yes.
And that's how he got Days of Future Past.
And usually the studios are wrong and should be ignored, but
Yeah.
thank you, studios, for pushing this issue.
I love Days of Future Past. I wish that in an alternate universe I could have seen what it would have been. Just curious, you know?
Sure, but then
Team
we
on
wouldn't
team?
have had Days of Future Past.
No, I'm saying in an alternate universe, you know?
He wants them
I know,
both.
but
He
in
wants
that
them
alternate
both.
universe, you wouldn't have
No,
Days of
but
Future
then I'd
Past.
come back to this universe.
Okay,
Yeah. I have like those powers.
sure.
He's America
Like
Chavez.
Joy in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I can
or
just go to
Joy.
different universes and have my fun and then leave.
In this universe, you have hot dog fingers?
Maybe. Maybe that one has hot dog fingers.
Can you
and-
take us to the one they didn't make She-Hulk?
Maybe.
No,
Yeah.
there she has hot dog fingers.
All right, so what do you guys want to rate this?
This might be my favorite X-Men movie, to be honest. And that's one I've never seen.
Dude, it's either this it's either this or Days of Future Past, but like
I mean, a
the
solid
story
9?
is perfect.
Solid 9?
It's a 10 for me.
I'd give it an 8.5 just to leave room for Days of Future Past.
Okay.
But I can't think, aside from Logan, I can't think of another
I'll go-
X-Men movie that I'd like more.
I'll go 9.5. But like it's like a coin flip of if I like this or Days of Future Past more. Like it's that close. It really is.
It's a fantastic movie, no
I
question.
like this.
And we could do, you know, if the fans want it, we can keep this going and do Days of Future Past next week. Let us know. All right, let's do fan questions. Yeah. All right, Amir, why is nobody mentioning that Josh says supposed to instead of supposed to be? Well, he fucks up every word.
If it,
Supposed to?
that's a fair point. If we went over every single thing that Josh does, that would be the whole podcast.
Say you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to do that.
There you go.
I don't understand.
It's we just
No, come on, you can do it. Try it.
You're not supposed to do that. I don't hear it.
that's
No. Suppose.
Supposed. I hear it now. I hear it now.
the real answer, Amir, is that we have all these conversations with Josh in real life.
Yeah, I know.
I hear it now.
It's not a work.
Supposed to.
It's
That's a tough one.
It's realer than wrestling, unfortunately.
You ought to hear me pronounce Spanish words. Jesus Christ.
Omar, true point of focus lies between rage and serenity. That was such a fantastic line that Charles told Eric.
Sure.
Which little did he know, he created a monster. Fuck, I love this movie so much. Best scene, the Nazi coin going through Sebastian Shaw's head.
Yeah, that's
That's really
amazing
good.
payoff.
He says, P.S. Don't sleep on the Beekeeper. It's a sleeper hit like Sisu.
I've heard about this.
interesting.
I've heard a thing or two
They're
about
saying
this.
it's like Statham's John Wick.
Interesting.
Really? Okay.
Could be good.
I've heard some good things.
PCJ, taking into account all the films, TV shows, video games, books, etc., on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the best, what order would you rank the following franchises? Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Star Trek, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Marvel's got to be 5.
Like
No,
do they all
it's
have to
not
be
the
in order?
worst. It's
like
the worst.
Oh, sorry. I got it backwards. Marvel's got to be number 1.
Marvel's got to be 1, of course.
Star Wars, I guess, number 2.
See, I know. No, I can't say that.
It's definitely not DC.
The sequels and the prequels of Star Wars are terrible.
It's definitely not DC. I'm going to say 2.
if we're strictly going movie franchises, I think you've
No,
got
he said everything, even video games.
the following
I
franchises
guess video
in
games
general.
helps
Okay.
Star Wars. Video games help Star Wars. So
I'd have to put Ninja Turtles at 5.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
yeah,
We love it. We have
It's
member
barely
berries,
even
but
a-
it's
Did it say Star Trek?
I mean, DC has the Nolan trilogy,
yeah, but you said everything. That includes the comics.
Well, if we're
that
including
includes
comics,
everything.
dude. The
too, like-
Arkham video games, yeah, DC too.
Okay, DC
just because of the
2.
Arkham video games for me. You guys,
Star Wars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then Star Trek.
it's Turtles last.
I personally would put Star Trek over Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I put Star Wars 3 just because some of the video games of Star Wars I love. I like the video games more than the movies.
Star Wars does have some very good video games.
Star Wars
right?
has Andor.
Star
though.
Wars
Jedi Knight
just-
2.
Star Wars just has the problem where there's been so many poor franchise
Yeah.
properties that just bring the overall average down.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Steven with a V, I believe it was last year, but there was a Predator versus Wolverine comic release. That would be an amazing movie.
That's right.
Dude,
There
that's
was.
over the years, like I think Dark Horse Comics particularly, there's been a ton. There's like Superman versus aliens, Batman versus aliens.
There's been some
Batman versus
crossovers,
Predator.
for sure.
There's a bunch of those, and almost all of them are really entertaining.
Yep.
The Rizzler, Fassbender killed it in this movie.
Yes,
I mean, he's number one performance in the movie's him,
yeah, he steals the movie.
even over Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it's him and Kevin Bacon.
Yes,
Yeah, I'd put him up as Magneto against Hugh Jackman as Wolverine for best portrayal of a character from the X-Men universe. I know she wasn't in First Class, but I never understood why they made Storm look so weak in these movies. It's a good point. Cyclops, too, really never did much.
Well, she was really only in Apocalypse. And she
Well,
was...
I think
Storm
he probably
was in the
means
other ones.
just the other ones, but
Oh, right, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
And then he says, January Jones, sweet Jesus, wow.
Yeah.
Does he mean that
agree.
she's hot or just...
I think any reaction to that is fine.
Hot and bad.
She's so bad of an actress that she's less hot because of it.
We never really did get to see Hugh Jackman Wolverine versus Fassbender, like evil Magneto. Because in Days of Future
Oh yeah,
Past,
they
like,
kind of teamed up.
Not really.
They were teaming up.
Well, but at
for most of the movie.
end, he tries to fight him, but Magneto's just like, get the fuck away from me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't really fight.
And that is kind of always the issue with
Yeah.
Wolverine and Magneto. They can't have a fight.
Because Magneto.
But even in that, Wolverine didn't have the metal, but he tied him up in some metal and then threw him into the water.
Oh, that's right. They tied him up in the little cement blocks.
Right, and that's
So
how
much for
right.
being a survivor.
Right.
Damn.
Andy Piccone, would you have been on Magneto's side or Professor X? Oh, Magneto.
You got to go with the bad girls, right?
Yeah.
But the bad girls had Tinkerbell. That's
She's
fine.
hot.
Like if
Yeah.
you're a
It's
mutant,
Zoe Kravitz.
That's right.
You'd be like, fuck yeah. I mean, you would want, that would be hot to date a
plus
girl
there
that
were-
has Tinkerbell wings.
There was no chicks on the good girls side, on the good guys side, except for McTaggart and
Yeah,
you
but
know,
she's,
Professor X is already.
but
all over that.
McTaggart's, now.
right. right.
McTaggart got lobotomized.
She's totally a tonto for sure.
decide with Raven and you get to fuck shit up. Yeah,
You
sign me
get
up.
3 ways with Raven and Angel.
Mm-hmm.
You know they're into it. Yeah. Magneto.
Or Raven and January Jones,
Sure.
or all three of them.
Because that's all she's, yeah.
Yep.
That's all she's good for.
Yeah. What did I say then? Raven. I said 3 ways with Raven and
And
Tinkerbell. Angel, right?
Raven,
Oh yeah,
Angel,
yeah. So,
Tinkerbell.
but yeah, 4-way with all 3 of them. Sure, yeah, that's nice. All right, that's all for fan questions and comments. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Hollywood Hog Pod. Become a supporter of the show. Patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. We have bonus episodes. We're going through Echo right now. It's really good. Watch it with us. Sign up. It's a lot of fun. Next week, if you guys like this, let us know. Should we continue and do the rest of the trilogy? Should we do Days of Future Past next week? Let us know.
Should we get on Talladega Nights since Aaron has never seen it? The world is our oysters, fellas.
I kind of leaned to that. Like when we did the Spider-Man thing, we did like 4 Spider-Man
Yeah,
movies
that was
in a
too
row.
many. Sure, that
kinda
was too many.
much.
All right, we'll leave it up to the fans.
Plus,
You
there's
guys,
a Predator we haven't seen. I think you got to get an Arnold in there.
All right.
We've got a
That's
lot of
right. I'm
different
wearing
things.
my Get to the Chopper
we,
shirt.
we could always come back to X-Men.
That's right.
All right, let us know, guys. See you next week.